Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. And I'm really sorry to join late. I
No
really,
worries, sir. I'm making you host. Yes, just a minute.
yeah, just yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay, sir. You can share your screen. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Once again, thank you so much for waiting a little longer for me. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the data management plan. The plan that something helps us that how do we ensure right from the study startup till closeout, how do we ensure the data management activities goes well. It's a simple plain term. Why? Because let's say you're building a home and you don't make a plan while you start building a home, or you don't make a plan once you completing building the home. No, you will create a plan before you start the working on your home. Like for example, maybe in a month. So it will help you to understand that what are the resource I needed. Resource means how much money I needed, how much time I needed, how many people I needed, and what are the approvals I needed, everything. Same way, the data management plan works in such a way that what are the resource I needed, such as how much time I need to set up data management while I start a clinical trial, and who are the people that who work in this particular clinical trial, who are the point of contact, what are the different systems that helps, are that we need integration, and what are the documents that we need, what are the approvals we need, what are the trainings we need. It all contains in one document, that is data management plan. And this document will be ready once the data management team completes a kickoff meeting during the study startup. So you'll get a question in the interview, like general question, like what is a data management plan? They might ask you that, is there any plan that something talks about all the data management activities, right from the study startup to closeout? I'm not sharing my screen, guys. Just give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen. Now, I'm keep using a term called study startup, conduct, and closeout. During our previous sessions, we clearly seen that what are the different activities that we do during the study startup. What are the different activities that we do during the conduct closeout? Now let me give an example. Then I'll share my screen. Let's say you're a when you like when you're studying your B Pharmacy or M Pharm or other health course, whatever you studied, let's say bachelor's. Before you start your bachelor's or the masters, you'll complete specific exams and get your certificates. And what you do, wherever you want to study or whichever the college you want to study, you would go and check the particular college, that how the is there, how this would help your future or your career, like facilities and teachers, I mean the professors, and the college history, and feedback from the seniors, feedback from the friends who already know about that particular college. Then you'll submit your college I mean certificates in college. Then you start going to college. Then whatever the years, like 4 years or 3 years you complete, you'll write your final exams and get your certificates. Just close. That's all, right? So study startup means the the way you check the college, like all the facilities, people, and history, feedback, like how this college doing from since this many years. Same when I say study startup, that means I'm setting up to start a clinical trial. So I'll keep the people ready. That means clinical research related people, like associates, managers, data management people, statisticians, scientists, and clinical research associates and the data coordinators and the site people, country level, global level, and the site level. Along with that, you'll also do the other documents ready. Each team will have one department where they'll be ready in order to ensure that, like, let's say regulatory team is one department, and clinical operations is one department, and the statistics are one department, data management, clinical data management, one team. So they'll be ready with their documents, their trainings and everything. And before they start, before they conduct a clinical trial, before they give the medication to the first patient, they will ensure that everything is ready in order to enter the data. Now, throughout the conduct, we involve the patients in the trial. We do the lot of procedures. We enter the data, and there will be questions. There will be queries. There will be monitoring visits. Then before completing the clinical trial, that means we will ensure that all the data has been completed. Once we're done with the clinical trial, the data will be segregated, the data will be cleaned, the data will be ensure that there are no errors. Then it goes to the regulatory authority. These are the process that we do. Now, since we are talking about the study startup document, that is data management plan. Now I'll show you all the practical document, that how a document looks like and what it contains, and what are the people that are involved are generally like a basic, and what are the systems that can be integrated with the data management systems. Good. Let me share my screen, and meanwhile, any questions since for the last session, or the questions that I've given? I know last session we couldn't take. Yes, I want you all to talk. Any questions so far? Has anyone requested you all to don't unmute? Okay, fine. Let me share my screen. Just give me 1 second. So basically, this is one of the general question that you'll be getting in the interviews, like, the as a basic question, as in a definition, you'll be asking, like, what is the data management document, or what is the definition of the data management? Okay. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, good, good. That's what I was
Yes,
wondering.
yes.
If people also interactive and till last few sessions, I was like, what happened? Good. So anything that you learn first, like anything new that you learn or anything that you already aware of it, always know the definition of it, the background of it. That means why we use, what is the benefit of it, or what is this, and how do we do that. So I want you all to take this just as a specific point. What is data management plan? This will be one of the frequent asked question in interviews, that DMP is a document that contains the purpose, or which is used to comprehensively document the collection and handling of the data. Simple. How do we collect the data? How do we handle the data? You might think, sir, collection is okay. Collection means we collect the data from the patients. But what is the handling of the data? Or like, what is the even meaning of handling of the data? Okay, you write an exam. When you write an exam, do you really think that you write everything correct? 100% you write? No, I don't think so. Maybe um, extreme brilliant, extreme brilliance only may not make any mistakes in exams, but otherwise 99% people makes mistakes in exams. That's why no one gets 100 to 100 in every subject. So what happens when we write a mistakes in exams? We get less marks. When we make completely incorrect, what happens? We might even fail sometimes. That's what's happened with the data. Whenever hospital entered the patient data, exactly. So far I was telling like in data. What data I'm talking about? Okay, leave about everything, purpose, leave about collection, handling. But what is the data I'm talking about? Data is any information, any observation is called data. So what observation? Simple. Patient, I'm doing a clinical trial on brain tumor. Now, performing an MRI scan, their results is called data, like observation, what I found on the MRI scan, what I found on the CT scan. Or I've done some, laboratory assessments. Okay, what are the results? Are they okay? Are they fine? Because I started giving the trial product to the patient. Is he doing well? And that's how observation helps. Okay, let's say there is a patient. He has gone to doctor stating that he has fever. Now, you just don't give him the medications, whatever he likes. First, he will ask him to go to a certain, he would collect the data, certain, like, do for dengue test or malaria or something else, XYZ test. So he collect the data and take a decision what to do with these patients. What is my next step? And that's how. So collection of the data from the patients means all the assessments, nothing but laboratory assessments, and are there any adverse events? Nothing but side effects. I know I didn't. I will not call it as a adverse side effects. Let's call it as a adverse events because side effects is something is being stopped using. Okay, adverse events are if the patient has any serious adverse events or nothing. Are there any adverse event of special interest or other laboratory assessment? So we collect all this data. I might think, sir, how do I know what tests to be collected? How do I know what are the assessments to be done? How much medication to be given? It's all given in a protocol. Okay, write a term called schedule of assessment. Write it down. Schedule of assessments. Okay, you know, I worked in pediatric hospital once for a few months. Whenever new baby born, they will just there will be one schedule of vaccinations, like in the chart, like for 4 weeks what is the vaccination, 9 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months, or 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 9 years. There will be vaccination schedule. Has anyone of you seen that chart? Such charts, like if you ever seen such seen the such charts. No one seen, like, what happened before you people used to do message like seconds. What happened? I've seen the charts, right? Like, the vaccinations charts. Okay, fine. So the vaccination charts contains, like, the schedule of each assessments they're supposed to do. Same way, the protocol contains a chart or a table or a timetable. What are the assessments needs to be done each time he comes. And that's what we are talking about. And to collect all this data, we need all these steps. to ensure that every data that we collected has been validated properly, has been cleaned properly, has been done completed our statistical analysis, or safety analysis, safety reviews. There are many reviews that needs to be done. So that means when I have an ample amount of data, or when I have even a minor amount of data, how I'm handling this data to ensure, to prove my data, my drug is safe and effective. And it's all explains in data management plan. That's all. So whenever someone asks, you just need to tell that it's a document, that the collection and handling of the data, which talks about the purpose of it. Now, what is the information it will get? Every study will have one data management, one DMP. Okay. So in every DMP, not only DMP, guys, in every protocol, in every document that we are using for specific clinical trial, it contains specific details such as the sponsor name. Because so what is a sponsor here? I've asked you all to read www.ichgcp.net. There are glossary, there are introduction, there are ICHGCP principles. How many of you read? I know, guys, it's not school or tuition, that where I ask, like, asking you all, like, your kids, but trust me, many years back, you know, uh, I've just freshly graduated, post graduated from one of the top medical colleges in India. And I don't know what to do. I didn't know, like, I was just, I was very good at, uh, finding microorganisms or mycology, parasitology. I was very good at all these things. And the, understanding about how resistance of medications for certain bacteria. I was good at it. But I didn't know. Maybe I used to work on Saturdays, Sundays also. I felt that was not life. Then there was one of my senior in same medical college. So he was working in Narayana, and he was he works for a hematologist. He was like hematologist, and one day he called me. He's like, "I quit. I'm not working anymore here." I was like, "What happened?" And I'm done. I'm going to corporate. So he went to corporate. Started working in oncology trials because he was a hematologist, and I got interested. Maybe I should do. My story was different because I had to work at any cost because I was committed to it. And at the same time, when I wanted to go to the corporate just didn't take me because I've studied, I have medical background, but they need some experience. But what I am working on is something that very different compared to clinical trial. Then I wanted to learn this course that I am teaching you. Then I approached one of the institute that asked me almost 1.8 lakhs. You remember, right? 1,80,000 for 2 months of course. And I was like, okay. When I attended my first interview, I failed because I was not aware of the basics. After that, I've attended almost 10 interviews. In all the 10 interviews, same questions have been repeated that I've asked you all to go through it and read, right? www.icgcp.net. You'll get a minimum 10 to 15 questions. You'll be getting that. The reason I'm telling you people that there were no one like to tell me, like, what to understand, what to study, or what to understand. And, the reason I'm telling, like, as a kids, because if you want to stand in career, or if you want to do something different in career, you'll have to take the some, you know, ownership. Because college, we study for 8 hours, we be there in college for 8 hours. This is 1 year, I don't know, this is all virtual or the remote, I don't know what's happening other hand. But trust me, you all need to have that. It all helps you that sometimes ask questions. You know why? Because I understand that how fast you talk, what is your language, I mean, how's the grammar skills, how slow you talk, How are you answering? Because in interview we don't check for 100% your knowledge, we only check for 50% of your knowledge, and rest of the 50% will be your skills, the way you talk. That is the reason that I was keep asking questions to encourage you all to talk, because sometimes in order to talk in front of 50 people, okay, what happens if I say wrong answers? What happens if I say this answers? What happens if I talk? What others would think? My English is bad. No, don't think that. Okay, so that is the reason that this is my third time I think I was saying that to read that one. I failed in interview because I was not aware of ICGCP principles. No matter what, whether you're a director, a senior director, president, you should be having an idea on ICGCP principles. Okay, so what is a sponsor? Again, same question. Exactly. ICGCP.net, not .com. So what is a sponsor? Come on. You all freshers. These are basic questions you might get.
The one who funds the research.
Funds the research, 1 point. That's all. I'll just give my okay. Let's say my parents, they just pay money to college. That's all. Come on, you're in right place. Okay, resource. Okay, okay. My parents paid the college fee. They bought me a bike to go college. Okay, that's all. Come on, guys. Okay, someone said it. Someone who monitors the trials, who funds the trials, who conducts the trials. Okay, okay, find out. Okay, since our topic is not about that, but you all need to know what is the sponsors, their responsibilities. Okay, you'll get in that website. Now the vendor partner. So when I say vendor, vendor is nothing but the person who provides the support on the specific activities. Like for example, okay, I'll tell you. Maybe I would like to go into the very details. So now let me tell you. You know, sometimes let's say there's um, a parent who is a doctor, and what they do, they would send their kids to the one of the best schools, or at least a school that they think that they teach well. You might think, and people can ask like, hey, your parents are doctors, are the engineers, or something else, like, why can't they teach you? Why they are sending you to the school? That's a general question that people can think, like, why they're sending you to the school when they have a lot of knowledge, right? Because they're sending to the school because their parents have a specific job to do, like maybe they're doctors, they're engineers. They're sending to a school, they're sending to a place where it filled with a lot of professionals, who has a profession, who has skills in the specific field, such as teaching, education field, right? That same way that now let's say that when I was doing my batch, sorry, 12th, my uncle was my college lecturer, Max. So not Max, something like I forgot. So whenever I don't, sometimes he used to ask questions in the classroom, and whenever I don't answers, like he never say anything to me because he's my uncle. So there used to be bias, but for others it was not like that. He used to be strict, not completely biased for me, but at least some 15 to 20%, because he can't tell him. If something he tells me, I'll go and tell my mom. like my back then. Okay, so there is something bias, but imagine that if there is other teacher, if I don't answer, they definitely kick me, right? That's what happens. So now what sponsor would do? Now you people said sponsor funds the money. Sponsor funds the money at the hospitals to conduct the clinical trial. Sponsor funds the money to CROs, nothing but contract research organizations. Now, if we look into this, I spoke three terms. One is a site, second one is sponsor, third one is CRO. If you ever ask me, sir, where would be my opportunities? Your opportunities in clinical research were in sites at hospitals as a clinical research coordinator, in a governance team or the ethics team board, data entry team, and you'll also have opportunities in the sponsor companies and the plenty of opportunities in the sponsor and the CRO companies. And that's how it helps when you read whatever I say. Now, so when I say vendor, the sponsor would take support from different teams. For data management, he can go to the one CROs like IQVIA, Syneos, or PPD, nothing but Thermo Fisher Scientific. And there are many companies who provide support on this kind of data management. There are other teams, there are other companies, or same companies who provide support on the clinical operations, right? So now you might think, sir, why do you think, like, let's say sponsor company like Eli Lilly has the 60,000 employees, why they are taking support from other people, other companies? Because there shouldn't be any bias. That's why I give an example, right? So now every clinical trial study will have a code. Anything, any question? Okay. The code. When I say code, the code means based on the therapeutic area. Like let's say that in order to remember, or in order to the drug code, or the program means particular entire clinical trial program, they'll be having the name of it. The protocol title and the version and the dates are very important, and the protocol phase, and local or multinational. Can someone tell me what is this local or the multinational? What does it mean? I've said already. Come on, guys. No one is talking. What happened? Because Saturday, what is the time for me? It's 11 o'clock p.m. Okay. Just 7 o'clock. Local means any specific country. Uh, yeah, that's good. So there are clinical trials which are happens at the only one country. There are clinical trials which are happens only one site. Okay. There are clinical trials which are happens in many countries, more than one country. I used to work on clinical trial which has a 40 countries, 37 countries, 35 countries. So it's always important that whether it's a multinational study or local study. Local means within one country or one site. Very good. Thank you so much. Okay. Now let's look into that. So the purpose of DMP is to provide an overview of the data management process to be applied to the study as a specific protocol and the requirements. Okay, so this plan is a summary of representing how the data management process will be conducted, the setup to required systems, apply them to deliver complete, clean, and concise data for the analysis. What I want you all to do is take this entire paragraph. The reason I'm asking you all, because I've asked you other day to read the ICH-GCP principles. No one has read. So take the purpose of it. The purpose of DMP. Take this paragraph. Yeah, it can be reason or the country. Yet. No. So the different roles and the responsibilities that are involved are that are incorporated in the data management plan. That means the DMP talks about the, okay, I'll show you. So the DMP talks about the purpose, that why the DMP has been set up for the particular study, and it also talks about the protocol summary. Since it is related to one uh, since it is related to the specific clinical trial, nothing but specific protocol, it will talk about the particular protocol, like we just see in the details, right? Like the title, phase of the study, and the project code of each thing, and also that it also talks about multinational or the local studies. Now, it also talks about the timelines. Very important, guys. The timelines to set up the data management um, systems, or to set up the particular systems to collect the data. Now I'm going to start a clinical trial, maybe another 2 months. And would you able to build those systems? Would you able to complete the program it, and create in the case report form, and complete the user acceptance test? Everything, will it be ready? And the giving the training. That's what the timelines they talks about. And the roles and the responsibilities. The roles and the responsibilities are nothing but the people that are involved in each team. That's one thing. And they're not only data management team, guys, there are also other team people that are involved, and how we are going to communicate with them. Because when I say the clinical data management is not just one team that we would be coordinating regularly. So there are other teams, and there are other teams that are involved in the data management process by collection of the data and all. So now we would be checking with them, or we would be looking into their perspectives also many of the times. That's so we need the uh, team. Okay, so their contact details also. Now, the study documentation, you see that certain points that, so whenever you go for the interviews, they might ask questions that what are the contents, like data management plan, or what it contains. Now that is it, you should tell that it contains the timelines, roles and responsibilities, and the documentations, and the different systems. I'm not going to details completely here. So what I'll be doing, that I'll take you all through it, the document, like as in a practical document, that how exactly that the document looks like. So now roles, responsibility, who are the people that are involved in this process, that is nothing but data management process. So if you look into here, so data management team is responsible, and data management assistant, like in the specific team. And here is the statisticians who will be looking into analyze the specific data points and the coding the data. So how many of you know what is clinical or medical coding? It's a random question. No, it's a related. So we can unmute and tell. Even if it's wrong, also that's fine. Come on, yes, that's okay. So no one knows. Am I right? Okay. You can unmute and talk. Coding according to the but what is the medical coding? It means coding the general terms into the clinical terms. Okay. Anyone else? Any guess? That's okay if it's wrong also.
Hi, Mr. Ram. I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Who's this?
Yeah. So clinical coding means when we interpret the clinical terms in a coded form using the MATRA and WHO dictionaries. Uh,
Mhm.
and medical coding is the used for insurance companies like medical insurance companies convert the medical terms in coded forms with different kind of softwares.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, fine. So, um, nothing but medical coding is nothing but using all the verbatims, like using all the same terms and bringing them to one umbrella. For example, let's say in some countries they say for fever they say high body temperature. In our country we say fever. So if the person using for this using same medication and the two different patients are using the same medication and they got two different I mean same adverse I mean sorry okay let me tell differently. There are two patients in two different places using the same kind of medications and got fever. So one of the doctor has written as high body temperature. Other patient for other patient they've written as a fever. No, the medical coding using the MEDRA in the especially in the clinical trial to ensure that we are using or we are telling all the verbatims under one common name. So now they will convert to the fever. But what are the benefits? Using the medical coding will ensure that all will bring every different synonyms of adverse events or the different synonyms of a particular disease comes into the one right place and which will help into during the pharmacovigilance process, and that's one thing. The second thing is that it will also ensure to help us that during the data management analysis like safety review and the IDMC, nothing but data monitoring committee. Okay. Yes, there are different medical coding does, like there are medical coding done in insurance for the insurance related, there are medical coding done in the hospital setup. Different process happens, but um, always that focus on the medical coding at the corporate side for the clinical trial. Okay, now these are four people who are important in the particular clinical trial, and we will take their contact details, that nothing but their email ID of the particular specific details. Now, so what are the systems that are there? Now you're seeing the roles of the people. Now you're seeing the systems. Guys, if you look into the three documents that are three things that I could see. One is the people, their responsibilities, and the systems and the documentation. Here, the role and the documentations and the tools and systems. So now, what are the different systems that we use? Like, okay, what happened? Yeah. So in order to set up our clinical trial or our clinical data management systems, we would need the database, nothing but example of Medidata, right? So we will also use SAS, we will also use the trial master file, and we will also use the SAS in order to store the data, in order to program the data, in order to use the listing of the reports, and also that to document or to file the different reports or the different plans that are there in the trial master file. Now, if you look into that, how exactly the data row looks like. Okay, I just want to see that how advanced you all are. Like why there is a watch here, like why there is a watch or in vendor services. Why do you think there is a watch here? Come on, guys. If you be like this, no, it's very difficult to get the job. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, can you repeat previous slide where you show the tools and responsibilities for the different persons,
Here.
system tools and so
Mhm.
there is mentioned database and EDC that is responsible for clinical data management persons, ECRF entry and data cleaning and other uh, standards. And who is responsible for listing and reporting in SAS system? Is the CDM or is the biostatistician?
Okay, the SaaS team is different. Okay, so who will be working on the programming part? So data management team will not be working on the programming because they're only working on ECRF, writing the specifications, performing the UAT and all, and to go into the production. So the SAS is a different team, but however, this is over, the CDM will support the SAS team by providing the specifications. So this is one of the sessions that we will be talking in the coming classes. So SAS is the different team. So they'll create the listings and the reports. But in order to create the listings and the reports, the clinical data management team has to give the specifications. Like let's say you have a car, but you don't want to drive. So you hired a driver. Now you would tell him that where to go, but you will not tell him that how to drive and all. If you tell him how to drive, he's not a driver, right? So you will sit there and you just tell him that, okay, I want to go to Mumbai, or I want to go to Pune. So now he would take you. So your specification or your specific reach point, or you want to go to the Mumbai or the Pune. Now he'll take you. Likewise, so we will provide the specification, what I want, how the report should look like, what are the contents of the report should be, what are the data points it should have. When I give this one, the SAS team will create the reports and the listings. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. No, you don't have to be very formal. Okay, it's chill. Okay, tell me now. I don't forget my question. So why there is a watch here? Come on, guys. If you don't be advanced, then it would be very difficult.
Because the timelines regarding
No, not at all. For duration, no. Think differently. To save the time, no. Okay. How many of you have smartwatches? So by using smartwatch, okay, by using smartwatches, are you saving time? Exactly. The monitoring, vigilance, oversight. Okay. So the reason that I'm talking about here, the monitoring, you all need to know, you all need to be very advanced. So there is something called decentralized clinical trial. In decentralized clinical trial, we don't touch the patients. We don't even meet the patient. So everything comes through the watch. For example, like heartbeat or ECG and everything, and some of other laboratory tests done by one prick. Okay, so you need to know. So the data flows happens in this process. Okay, someone has mentioned monitoring. Very good. That's what I was talking about. So this is the data flow happens, that how the in order to ensure the data integrity, guys, one of the easiest term, a different term that you need to remember. When I say integrity, that means how correct the data is, how true the data is, how value the data is. So in order to ensure that my data is valuable, my data is correct, we need to ensure in every process the data is error free. So now let's look into that. Site is the place or is the hospital where the patient takes the treatment. Okay, and provide the lab different samples for the laboratory assessments or anything, and there is something called CTMS. Take note of it. Clinical Trials Management System. In next session, you need to tell me what is CTMS. Okay, now I think I should give you all some questions. Okay, write it down. What is CTMS? What is clinical trial management systems? Trust me, guys, you all need to, talk. You all need to, improve a lot. Otherwise, you know, how many pharma colleges are there in India? Like hundreds, thousands. Okay, so what happens that every year, a lot of people would get pass and come. Along with that, there are allied health courses. There are medical courses. There are many people. Okay, so if you don't be smart enough to capture, it's very
Sir,
difficult.
CT. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Sir, CTMS is a tool that provide all the clinical trial information in a structured manner from a study startup to study closeout. All the study related documents are stored in one place, and all the study details are providing in this tool.
Okay. So good, yeah. The CD clinical trial management system. Okay, that's for everyone to read and come. Okay, not for now. Okay, take what is the CTMS? There are other aspects that you should be aware of it. Okay, so what is CTMS? What is CDMS? It is CDMS, Clinical Data Management System. What is CTMS? What is CDMS?
CTMS clinical trial management system and CDMS clinical data management system.
Yeah, yeah.
CDMS handle the clinical trial data in
No, no,
the
wait, wait.
EDC
You read
platform.
and come. Everyone has to read and come. Tomorrow I'll be asking. I mean, in the next session.
No issue.
Okay. Sponsor responsibilities in a clinical trial. Okay, it's not that you tell now. I want you all to read it and understand. It's not just for now. Okay. The contents of case report form. The contents of case report form. Next question. Explain about. Explain about. CDM roles and responsibilities. CDM roles and responsibilities. Okay, good. So I want you all to not just read about definition, not just read about specific points. I want you all to read and understand that in and out of everything. At least you read out 2 points, 3 points, but I want you all to read completely understanding of it. Okay, good. Any questions? Others, any questions?